So I was trying to come up with the title for this presentation, and my initial title was Omnichannel with Lightspeed. And then I was thinking, hold on, that is the most overused word in our industry. It's the biggest buzzword of the century. So let me just break it down. Sell the stuff you sell in store online as well. That's basically what it is. Omnichannel it's a fancy word. I didn't understand it when I first started at Lightspeed either. I've been here 4 years now, going into my fifth, and omnichannel is basically this, guys. You have a in-store physical location. People shop there. Um, I'm assuming that most of you guys close at a certain time. You want to go home, eat dinner with your family, and rest. Let's say the store closes at 6. Now you want your retailers, or your customers, to be able to shop at your store at all times, and that's what we're trying to provide with omnichannel. It's basically saying that same in-store experience that I get to experience coming in, I want to be able to experience online, at my own leisure, at my own convenience. So, it's 6 p.m. I just finished work. Shop's about to close at 7. That's fine. On my way home from work, I could just simply go on my phone, go onto your shop, on your website, and buy things, at my own convenience. So it's providing that same experience in store, online. That's what omnichannel basically is. And that's what I'm going to touch on today, because what Lightspeed figured out was we have a lot of people that have physical locations. They're selling in store. They want to sell online. Why don't we just take the existing data they already have and republish it? And so we try to make that experience very seamless and easy to use, rather than getting, 3 different systems from 3 different companies and, gluing them together for a less seamless experience. And so I'm going to touch on all that. But let's start with simple stuff first. So the agenda. So I'll go through, who is Lightspeed? Why do people use Lightspeed in the first place? I'll even try to compare it to others out there. I know Shopify is something that a lot of people know about and have looked at. We're both Canadian companies, FYI. But I'll also go through some of our customers, some that I've worked with directly as well, and how I've seen them grow over the years. Because at the end of the day, Lightspeed sees us partnering with a customer as a partnership. We don't want you to use us and then peace out after a year. We've had customers with us for 10 plus years, right? And we want to help scale their growth, and we do have features for that. And then we're obviously going to go through a product demo. If you're like me, if any of you guys have a short attention span, like me, or you guys learn better by doing or seeing, I'm really going to try to focus on that aspect as well. So I'll run through the first 3 pretty quickly, and then we'll focus heavily on the 4th. And just so you guys know, I've been working at Lightspeed for 4 years now. Is it 4 years? Yeah, in March. And I worked on the consulting sales engineer side. So work with a lot of our customers that have issues or looking for certain features. And then I basically tell them if we can do it or not. And if we can't, I usually recommend other businesses, right? Other competitors. And so I've had the chance to work with thousands of retailers, even restaurants actually, from so many different verticals. Big on the women's boutique side, the apparel, but we also work with other verticals, which I'll go into. Where did Lightspeed start? If you haven't heard of us, that's totally okay. Hopefully by the end of this presentation, you have an idea of who we are. But this is our CEO and founder, Dax, and he started Lightspeed in 2005. So about 15 years ago. And he was working for a Apple reseller and realized that the point of sale market had a gap in it in terms of user experience, in terms of features. So he went out and decided to create his own company in his basement, and Lightspeed started in 2005. Now, from humble beginnings all the way up till now, last year our company was lucky enough to go public. So we are on the Toronto Stock Exchange. It was one of the biggest tech IPOs in North America, and for Canada, historically, it was one of the top 10 tech IPOs. So what does that even mean? Why am I bringing this up? I'm not just trying to show off. It was a big tech IPO, which means that we have a lot of investments that have come in the hundreds of millions. And how we're going about using that is growing obviously our customer base, but reinvesting into our infrastructure, our technology, our support staff, so that as our customers grow, we can take care of them. And I'll touch on, our support and onboarding, which again, we include all that for free. And so we try to make sure that once you're a customer, that you don't leave us, right? We don't want to just grab you as a customer and then not think about you. Churn is something we use in our industry. We can get customers, but if we have a leaky bucket where people are trickling out, that's not good business for us. So we really try to push for the customer experience and seeing if we actually are solving your problems. Now, just the numbers. So we have about 1,000 employees now. I think I was employee number 500. We're at 1,200 now. We have 74,000 customers across the globe, and then across all our customers, they processed about $20 billion in transactions. Now, globally, we do have 14 offices, kind of spread out North America, Europe, and the Pacific. But if you notice, our head office is actually in Montreal, Canada. And I'll show you a picture of it. Hold on, my internet wasn't too slow. So, oops. So this is actually our office in Montreal. It's actually an old train station hotel. So this is where I sit. Somewhere, if you can see my arrow, somewhere here, right there. It's a really cool place. So if you're ever down in Montreal, definitely come visit us. We'd love to give you a tour. It's a historical site. It's an old port. And the best part is the Molson beer brewing company is right next to us. So, walk on over. And so that's kind of who we are, where we kind of started to where we've grown. But our mission has always been bringing cities and communities to life by empowering small, medium-sized businesses. Now, what the hell does that mean? It's something I've questioned too. The foundation of our economies is based on small retailers as well as restaurateurs, right? That's what makes up the fabric of our economies. It's why, in Canada and the US, they're providing stimulus packages to small, medium-sized businesses. You guys employ people, you guys provide a service, and that's who we're trying to look after. We want to remove responsibilities from your plate so that you can do what you want to do, which is serve your customers and get the right products in their hands and provide the best experience possible. 9 times out of 10, people aren't big fans of purchasing and reporting and that sort of stuff. And that's where we come in to try to help you. Now, with that being said, who are our customers? And you have to excuse me because I think my internet's being slow. Hold on, let's go here. Okay. So this is actually one of our customers. That's Marie from Bouche Bay. She runs a small boutique shop. But to give you an idea, like who do we cater to? Generally speaking, I would say most of our customers are between 1 to 5 stores and 1 to 5 employees. We have bigger customers, but that's not the majority of them. And this kind of brings up the point about Shopify as well. So our customer base, who we're targeting and who we're really going after, we're not going after just people that are doing e-com, right? They want to sell online, that's fine. And Shopify does that, they target them. Our main focus is brick and mortar retailers, who we consider serious retailers who have a physical location, have invested in a lease, getting employees, buying inventory. Those are the folks that we're targeting. And so of our customer base, we realized, okay, these folks probably want to sell online when they're shut off, or like situations like this where COVID's happening and people can't come into the store physically. So if you have a physical location, tag on Lightspeed Ecom, and all of a sudden you can take all the products that you were selling in store to sell online. And the beauty there is that your inventory is always in sync, right? You have 50 of these watches in store, you have 50 online. You sell one online, you have 49 in store now. And that's happening in real time. And I'll give you an example of that. One thing that Marie said, I had a chance to chat to her when she came by the office, was she said, Lightspeed was my first employee. So for the first year, she didn't have to pay another employee. She was able to use Lightspeed and its functionalities. And I thought that quote was really, really cool. And it was after a year she started employing folks. But again, it was just her. She had a lack of budget. And so she used Lightspeed, spend money there, and was able to do kind of like 2 birds with 1 stone.
Asfand, what's the name of the store?
Yeah, it's right on the bottom right corner there. It's called
Yeah,
Boosh
for some
Bay.
reason I can't see it. I can only see the quote.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
Bushby. Okay, now I see it. Yeah.
Boosh Bay, and I'll give you an example of her website and send you links to it as well, so you have a record of it.
Okay.
Um, and okay, so from there, guys, let's go next. Okay, so when it comes to the types of industries that we work with, um, jewelry is a big one, vape, apparel, pets, bikes, and hobby and gift. Now, this obviously expands beyond that. Um, the reason why we're catering to all these different industries is we I think our strength really is inventory management. It's something that we do really well. It's your biggest cost as a retailer. So if you have inventory management requirements and you want to sell across multiple channels, that's why a lot of these industries look to Lightspeed to help support their business. Now, I did mention we have small retailers. The majority of our retailers, I would say like 80 to 90% of our retailer base are small businesses, mom pop shops. But then we have the select few bigger shops. Before I get into, why is Lightspeed great and everything, I like to start with what's important to retailers, right? Retailers generally, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you want to manage your biggest cost, which is your inventory. Accessibility is important, scalability, but let's go into it. So when you want to manage your biggest cost, which is inventory, inventory management, I would say, is Lightspeed's bread and butter. It's what people come to Lightspeed for from other competitors. And I'll dig into that when we go into the demo. Accessibility is a big one, right? We used to live in a world where you would download the application, the software on your computer, and it would sit there. Now we're moving over to a cloud-based model, which means, what does cloud even mean? It means that you can access your data anytime, anywhere from any computer. Think of that as like Facebook. You have a Facebook account, you can go to anyone's home and log in. The same goes for Lightspeed. So we are cloud-based. Scalability, what does that mean? You're one store right now, which is great, but you might want to grow into a pop-up shop, maybe a second location, a third location. We're able to provide that multi-store management capabilities when it comes to your inventory. You obviously want to increase your sales because at the end of the day, passion isn't enough to survive in this environment, right? So increasing your sales means pushing your information to other channels. So we talked about omni-channel, so being able to sell in-store and online, but also the folks that do shop at your store, you want to create a sense of loyalty. Once they shop at your store, the chances of that customer buying from you again are much higher. So we have Lightspeed Loyalty, which allows you to reward your customers with points and rewards. Again, creating that emotional attachment to your store. And that's usually the difference maker when it comes to, hey, I'm selling pants and the store across the street is selling pants. What's going to incentivize the customer to come to my store over theirs? And that's generally, hey, I can earn points and then get discounts later on. Customer experience, that's a big one. How many times have you gone into a retail software and it's slow to use? Clicking between buttons and workflows are very, very stagnant. So we actually partnered with Apple. They actually helped us redesign our software as well and our iPad app. And so it's fast, reliable, similar to what Apple products are like. Overhead costs. You guys obviously have to pay your staff. You have to pay for stationery, supplies, that sort of stuff. It's not just your inventory that you're trying to keep track of. So we understand that you're working with QuickBooks and other accounting softwares that we actually connect to. So we can actually send your data from the point of sale system over to your accounting so that you can get your end of day summaries all in one spot to see if you're making profit or you're not. When it comes to employee management and payroll, that sort of stuff, the way we have it designed is 80% of what you do, Lightspeed can take care of. And then the 20% where there's a gap, you need employee management beyond what we provide, or you need payroll. That's where we have a partnership network. So it's an ecosystem of partners that we've developed relationships with over the past 10 years. But for example, Lightspeed is able to, out of the box, allows you to track the hours worked. But as soon as you want to start scheduling your employees on certain dates and tracking their breaks and times and actually paying them, that's where an employee management software specific for that comes in handy. And we do have a partner that would do that, and they connect with us. Affordability. Let's say you use Lightspeed and then you hate it, right? A year later, you want to change. Our hardware is agnostic. You could use that across multiple different platforms, right? You could buy them used. You don't have to buy them from us. But the point being that with the hardware, it's not proprietary. It's not hardware that Lightspeed created. So if you did want to leave us, you can go to another system, and 9 times out of 10, you could reuse the hardware, right? And I think the last point here is probably one of the most important. Generally, as a retailer, you need obviously the point of sale. You might need an e-commerce. You might need analytics. You might need payments, right? I've seen customers that have 4 different businesses that they work with to get each one of those components. And so what we're providing is convenience. It's a single bill, single point of contact, one support line, right? So let me just bring this up. Your point of sale is in the center. You're going to need a bunch of these things. So rather than going to 6 different vendors for it, we're a one-stop shop. And so let's say something stops working or you need to troubleshoot, call into support, and we could take care of all the products all in one go. And what's nice is with the payments, I won't go into too much details there, but when it comes to payments, a lot of times there's a lot of fees when you sign up with a merchant. There's hidden costs, etc. We have a basic fee structure. What you see is what you get. And that's kind of one of the benefits of going with Lightspeed, is that we simplify that process for you because you are buying all these other products as well. So we try to simplify the whole thing. Now, with that being said, right over here, so this is actually one of our customers. They're called the Beauty Shop. They used to be called the Brow Shop. I think they rebranded. But basically what they do is they're really cool. They're actually based in Montreal. They're a beauty gift apparel shop. They do a bit of everything. Their concept is actually pretty unique. You come in for eyebrow threading, the cheapest in the area. And while you're doing that, you're probably waiting for your service to come up. So at the same time, you can shop for beauty products, for clothing. And so the Beauty Shop's story is, I would say, quite unique and very, I think, keeps me optimistic about small, medium-sized businesses. And to give you an idea, and can you guys see green marks on my screen? Or is it just me?
Yeah. Yes, I think someone just
Scribbled?
randomly. Yeah, so you can clear it from yours, or we can stop the share and I can clear it.
No, I'm fine. I just don't want you guys think that I'm drawing on my screen.
Yeah.
That's okay, as long as you guys can see. If it's not,
yeah, I wish I could clear it from mine, but because you hold the sharing, if you click on the right click on annotate, it says clear annotation.
Oh, nice. Annotate clear.
Yeah, we had a experience with naughty participants in the past.
Don't worry about it. So with the Beauty Shop guys, I'm going to give you a rundown of their timeline, how they started, because they were very successful. So they actually started with Shopify Ecom in 2016 of September. They realized, and it wasn't even that Shopify was bad, it was more so that they realized that because they were starting out, they wanted a physical location because they needed to create a name for themselves. They were more into the experience side of things. And because 80% of business still happens in store than online. Online's great, it just hasn't taken off fully. They decided to forego their subscription with Shopify and signed up with Lightspeed's point of sale. So physical location, they got one in March of 2017, a few months later. And that was their first store. Now, almost, I would say a year later, they got Lightspeed Ecom at the same time, okay? So they started getting traction in the store, and people wanted to reach them online because they lived far away. They heard great things word of mouth or on social media. Now, almost a year to that date, they opened up their second location because they were so successful. Their model was working. Now, they have Lightspeed retail in store, e-com online. and they decided that they needed an extra layer of rewarding their customers and bringing them back and increasing that revenue. And so they signed up with Lightspeed Loyalty. So now, after so many years, they have 2 stores, 10 employees, 3,000 SKUs in store, and they're selling 1,000 SKUs online. And that was the growth that they saw and experienced. And the reason why I bring this up is just to kind of help people realize that they can scale and grow if they have the right tools in place. To give you an idea, we did a little, there we go. So we did a little report, pulled some data from our customers, and we wanted to see in the apparel and beauty industry, after 1 year of using Lightspeed, what type of growth did we see for our customers? And this was 24%. Now that's average, right? Now with the beauty shop that I showed you earlier, the case study, this customer actually, after using Lightspeed after 1 year, grew about 138%. And that was just 1 year of using Lightspeed. So they had their point of sale system, and then a year later or 6 months later, they got e-com at the same time. So they were really able to accelerate their sales. And the approach that we use here, guys, is, we don't want you just to sign up with Lightspeed. We don't want you to just buy products for the sake of buying products and helping our bottom line. It's more about how can we, if you grow, we as a company grow, and we both do well, right? So we have onboarding, that's all included in your subscriptions. You're not paying extra for training. We have webinars that we do. We do 24/7 support. That's phone, chat, email. So again, ensuring that you're actually having the best experience possible, so that, in 6 months to a year's time, you don't leave us, because the experience that you had was terrible. And the last thing we're trying to do is create barriers for you to actually do well. So what you're actually looking at right now is your in-store point of sale system. We're not online yet. Okay. So we're going to focus on, hey, this is how the point of sale works. I don't like diving deep into the technical stuff. I'm going to keep it really basic. If there's anything that you guys have questions about, or if you want to dive deeper into, feel free to hit us up after the call and we can set up a demo. But right now, just plain and simple. So where you spend a lot of your time, hopefully, is selling products. And so what we'll do is, let's say the customer comes in and wants to buy a product from you. Beautiful. So Michelle was saying, how about customer management and reports and inventory reports? I could totally show that as well. So let's start simple. Customer comes in, they want to buy a dress. You have a barcode scanner, you'll scan the dress, and it's a beautiful black silk dress for $300, and it's being taxed. Now on the right-hand side, we'll take a payment. And with this payment, just for this example, let's just use cash and hit max. They're paying full in cash, and we're going to finish the sale. Now you'll notice that whole process, I did that intentionally quick to show you how quick it is to, hey, customer wants to buy a product, you want to take their money, get them out the door. It's very quick. And at the end of this whole procedure, this transaction, you could print a normal receipt or a gift receipt. You can also email the receipt. This is a great way, again, to save on paper, but also an excuse to grab your customers' emails, right? Because at the end of the day, it's about bringing those same customers back in with promotions, or with loyalty messages and that sort of thing. So if you look at the receipt, it's customizable. So you could add your own logo. It'll show you what was bought. At the bottom here, I always recommend in the footer here, it's an area to promote. So cross-promote your website, go ahead and add your promotions for next week, or even refund policies. And at the end of the day, if the customer came back in and wanted to return the item, just simply scan the barcode on the receipt and it pulls up the transaction for you to do that refund. Now, with that being said, that was a basic, simple sale. Let's actually go back to the sale. I think it was Michelle maybe that asked about customer management and all that. Obviously, there's a whole section about it here. But again, it's all about when a customer comes to your store, you want to be able to treat them in a very genuine way. You want to understand who your customers are from every transaction that happens, especially in the boutique world. If you're a boutique women's retailer, you're not these big box stores. It's one of the things that helps you stand out is that you have that one-on-one experience with the staff when you go in. And that's why, they're willing to pay higher prices at the same time. So up here, let's say a customer comes in, her name is Ashley Logan. She shopped here before. So all I'll do is type in her name, email, or phone number, and it pulls up her profile. And what's cool about this is you get to see a few things. One, she's a VIP up here. Okay, because she's a VIP, she gets 10% off anytime she shops. And at the same time, we have some notes on her. So she's an angry customer, which we get every now and again, but she loves silk and the color blue. So what I'm trying to get at here is you can make custom notes on your customer that are internal, right? This person was lovely to deal with, or, oh, like they just bought a home. Next time they come in, you can check up on them, follow up on them, right? It's creating that customer experience that creates that emotional connection. And I think you guys do that naturally already. Let us just help you keep a few notes on it. So once the customer's been added, I showed you how to add a product, which was to scan it in. But you could also create these customizable buttons over here. So what that means is, let's say you have items on your counter that are so small that they can't be labeled, right? And if that's the case, it could be things like shoelaces, it could be polish, whatever that is, you can create a button for it up here so that it's easily accessible. And these are customizable however you want. At the same time, you can also just type in the product's name here, okay? So once we add the product, take a payment, and the customer, you could also split the payment. So you could do, let's say, $10 in cash and the remainder on credit card. And it auto splits. Something to note here, guys, is if you are looking for a payment solution, we do have Lightspeed payments. And the benefit there is you have to ask yourself, do you want something that's integrated or non-integrated? At the end of the day, you can use anyone you want for your processing. Integrated just means that it talks to Lightspeed. If it says that you owe $300 in Lightspeed, it'll push that to your terminal to say $300 are owed, rather than you manually typing it in. So that's the difference, and we'll finish the sale. So that was it for the sales side. I hope you guys aren't too bored. This is pretty simple, and I did this intentionally. But let's actually go over to inventory. Now, there's a lot of things on the sales side I didn't even touch on. Things like, hey, we do support gift cards, special orders, layaways. We do all that. But on the inventory side, this is really our bread and butter. It's where we strive and excel at. So if you just look up here, the first row, these are different ways to create products. So you can create them individually. You could also bulk import them. So we can import, 10,000 items, and the upload takes about 15 minutes on average. And then we have matrix items, which will apply to you guys. So you have a dress. It comes in various sizes and colors, but it's the same dress. This is a good way to manage that family of items. So let me just go into item search here, and let's actually look for an item across the store. So I think I wanted this one here. Okay, so the beautiful black dress, you have 235. If you didn't know it was beautiful, you do by the name.
Yeah.
So once the products are in our system, this is what it looks like. We have, we can track the name of the product, up to 12 images. We have the retail price, so we're selling it for $300. We have something called price levels as well. If any of you guys decide to do custom pricing, so you want to sell the same product, but depending on the customer you sell it to, you're going to change the price. So think like wholesalers, think like your VIP clients. You can create custom price levels. You can also create a price level for online. So if you don't want to sell it at 300 online, you might want to increase the price to 330. You can have custom pricing compare in contrast to your online and in-store sale. Obviously, we can track the cost. That's a biggie. We track your costs every time you bring in a product. We calculate the average cost. There's a vendor. And then we also have something called reorder points. So if you want to keep a stock of certain items at minimum at all times, it might be your most popular products. You can tell the system, if I ever fall below 50 of these, I want an alert in a report so I can reorder these items. You also have the ability to actually print labels and tag your products. You can also use existing labels if you wanted to. That's not a problem either. And if you look down here, we can also categorize. So you can categorize your items into a parent category of tops, and then you have up to 9 subcategories underneath. So you can really label your products. And again, you have a hierarchy of 10 categories, which means you can see, hey, did I sell more of this product versus this? And then you have an idea of where you need to spend more money on.
Asfand, there is a question from Erica on the chat in terms of, do you see it, the barcodes?
Yep.
Everybody see, I have never done barcodes, etc. How difficult is that setup and daily entering of items?
Absolutely. So what I'm going to go through after this demonstration is we're actually going to create a product from scratch. We're going to enter the information. We're going to print the barcode, and we're going to sell it online. But to your question, Erica, you've never done barcodes. That's totally fine. What Lightspeed does automatically when you add a product to our system is it automatically assigns a system ID. And that system ID becomes your barcode. So once you save the product, all you got to do is hit print label. And it prints a label for you. Let's say you have another point of sale system right now and all your products are labeled and you don't want to redo them. That's totally fine. You could actually enter that barcode right into this field. So you can search for the product using any of these barcodes. So you have 5 options here.
Wait, so we're getting inventory in the store. We have tags on them. We have style number on the tag. I can go into my system, put my style number, then add and I'm printing a label and put it on the tag?
Wow. Yeah, exactly. So,
okay. All right.
Yeah, so in your example, are you using an existing label or are you wanting to use Lightspeed?
In your case, I want to use Lightspeed because I don't have the barcodes.
Of course.
So it's actually, I'm impressed with that system because I can still use my style number, the vendor style number,
yeah.
And then plus your barcode that will go into that. Okay. Yep. So the custom SKU will be my style number?
Yep, it could be custom, it could be manufacturing. These are both alphanumeric, so you can put letters and numbers and special characters in here, and they're searchable.
Great.
Asfand, can I ask a quick question? Sorry.
Hit me.
So when our stores, hypothetically, let's say they're using Lightspeed and we ship them an order, and they want to upload what they just received. So would they just do that in the inventory? Like would I just send them an Excel, but they just upload it from that and it'll automatically grab their order?
Yep. So just to reiterate, so I understood, you're saying that you're going to send a CSV file to your retailer to upload into their system?
Yeah, I mean, we usually give them a paper, list of what they have coming in, right? It's in the box and we ship it to them. So I'm saying hypothetically, customer calls me and says, Fatima, I'm using Lightspeed. Can you send me a CVS file of my order? And I send them that. They would just upload it there, and then that would generate the barcodes for them as well?
Absolutely. So
Cool.
what you're basically doing is there's an import tool in the purchase order. So if you send them the CSV file, they basically can replicate that PO directly in there, and it creates the product from scratch and assigns the barcode automatically.
Cool. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Let's see if there are any other questions here. Thanks, Erica. Yeah, no, we try to change every now and again. But over here also, guys, there's tags. So for you guys, tags are basically keywords that are trackable. What that means is, let's say I'm doing, oh my God, there's so many tags. Okay, so I have this tag here called Summer 2020, right? I might have a collection of items that arrive for summer, and maybe at the end of the season, I want to see a report just for those products to see how well they perform. If I type this in anywhere in my reports, it's searchable. You'll be able to see the total revenue, total profit, the cost for those products. So these are tags that, again, make the item searchable in any report. Okay.
How do you group a specific number of items into a collection?
Yeah. So I would say there's 2 ways. So the one way to do it is you manually create the product one at a time, right? The quickest way to group products and create products together is through the import tool. So you could basically say, I have 10,000 products here. 500 of these belong to this category, this subcategory, maybe a second subcategory. So you can assign it all in that Excel sheet.
Oh, and how do I control the category page?
Yeah, so the categories can be created manually. Let me save that.
Oh, there, I can see it here.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So that was automatically created by the spreadsheet that you uploaded, but you can change that as well.
Exactly.
And you can assign one product to multiple categories.
Absolutely. Yep.
Mm.
Exactly.
And tag them.
Yep. You can tag them. There's no limit on how many items you can apply to a category.
Asfand, can you talk a little bit about how you index and do SEO of the site as a whole, as products specifically?
Absolutely. So just to kind of, I think, clarify right now. Right now, what we're looking at is the products as they sit in your in-store point of sale system. Okay. What I'm going to dive into next is actually the omni-channel, the e-com side, and then we're going to touch on SEO. We'll touch on apps. So I think this is a good segue. But before I get into that, I just want to quickly give you an overview. So on the inventory side, we created products multiple different ways already. In the second row, we have purchasing and receiving. Okay, you might receive those products from the vendor and they might be broken or damaged. This allows you to return and remove it from the system with a reason. And then if you have multiple stores, you can do transfers. You can also do special orders. Customer wants a specific dress from a vendor. You don't have it, but you can order it on her behalf. And then everyone's favorite, inventory counting. So you can count inventory throughout the year. This basically allows you to compare what you actually counted physically to what the system says you actually have. And then you could produce a shrinkage report that allows you to, again, reduce your tax, it applies to your tax deductions at the end of the year. So this is really inventory in Lightspeed. Now, I want to dive into the omni-channel capabilities for a second.
Yeah, Asfand, there is a question about inventory in the chat from Andrea. Do you see it? Would we be receiving inventory into Lightspeed or QuickBooks, then import to Lightspeed?
Yeah, so QuickBooks will become your accounting system, right? All your inventory will be received in Lightspeed.
Okay.
Your reference point for inventory will always be Lightspeed, from purchasing, receiving, how much quantity you have, the total value. If you do connect Lightspeed to QuickBooks, we will send over your inventory asset information. So the value of your inventory, your cost of goods sold, your purchase orders that are completed will also go over to QuickBooks as bills. So
Okay.
there's a pretty strong connection there.
So it pretty much would work, like I use QuickBooks point of sale right now. It would essentially be that and be sending it to my QuickBooks financial software.
Exactly. And I've worked with a lot of customers that come over from QuickBooks point of sale over to Lightspeed, but they're also using QuickBooks or accounting, and they tend to, it's confusing, right? Because they're thinking, wait a minute, but I want to track my inventory in QuickBooks. High level, what should be happening is inventory and detailed transactional information should all be stored in Lightspeed.
Okay.
What should be going over to QuickBooks is high level data. So my sales by category, what's the value of my inventory? I don't need to know how much of these cups I have in stock in QuickBooks. That's what my point of sale system's for. So we would take a lot of the responsibilities away from the point of sale system, but then also just send that high level transactional data that your accounting system needs on a daily basis. Beautiful. Give me one sec here, guys. Okay, so we're going to go into the world of omni-channel. The word that overused buzzword, right? Okay, so I'm just jumping into this account here. This is my other demo account. Okay, so we're already familiar with Lightspeed Retail, the point of sale. We're still on that right now. What I want to show you is, let's go to item search. So what I want to show you is I want to go into a product, just a random product. Let's say this helmet. I like starting with familiar stuff and then going into deeper, complex things. But if you look here, what we're seeing is we have the product. So the name of the product, we have the helmet. We even have the stock level here on the right. We've added a couple UPCs. We have the category structure intact, the tags, the brand. Now, as soon as I want to sell this online, guys, all I have to do is check this off here, publish to ecom. And what that actually does is it takes the data that you already have and throws it online so that you can start selling right away. So what you're seeing here is the name of the product that comes over, the price level, and the stock. And you'll notice that we actually show the exact value of how much stock they have, 979. Now, you don't have to show that, that's optional, but what we're trying to do here is we're showing that as soon as someone buys this item online, it subtracts it in store, right? So what that means is you're reducing the risk of overselling stock. And so that sync is happening in real time. There's no delay of 5 to 2 minutes. So that data carries over. Now, obviously, you do have to add in your descriptions, etc. But again, it's taking existing information from your point of sale, pushing it online, along with the images. You have to excuse me, my internet's being really funky today. And overall, we're actually going to go through actually creating a product and sending it online. Just to give you an overall view, on the top left corner, this is where you can switch between your e-com and your retail point of sale, back and forth. It's like a switch. If you want to report on your sales, both in-store and online, you do it all in one place right over here in reports. Now, with that being said, let's actually create a product. So let's say we just got a new product in. I'm going to create one manually. So we'll hit new item. Okay. And I'm going to make up this name. Let's say it's summer dress. It's white. And let's say I have 20 of these in stock. And I'm going to sell it for $60. Cost was, let's just make it up, 30. It's a good margin. And we'll go ahead and save that. Now, what I did there, actually, I forgot to show you, is I checked this off, publish to ecom. So basically what I did is I added the name, the price, the quantity. One thing I forgot to do is add an image. So I can hit add image. Now these are images that you could have taken, you could have gotten from online. There we go. So there's a summer dress, white, for $60. The image has been added. Just so you guys know, the only mandatory information that you need to add is the name of the product. Okay, if you don't have the image right away or the pricing, that's fine. You can still publish it. Now, once you check this off, publish to ecom, and hit view in online store, you'll be able to see the summer dress right away on your website. So you have the name of the product, the price, even the 20 that you have in stock. This is one thing that you don't want happening on a demo. The image isn't showing. That's just my internet's being really wonky right now, but you'll see the image right away. I think it's my HTML. Can you add bulk images? Will it connect photos to corresponding style and photo are labeled by style number? Yeah, so when it comes to importing your images, you can import up to 12 images per product through the CSV file. And how that actually works, and it's something that I don't like diving too deep into right now because it might get too technical, but for those that are interested, you will go through it in the onboarding process. But in the CSV file, you'll basically write the name of the image, file name, in the columns. And once that's done, once you drag and drop your CSV file into Lightspeed, you can drag and drop those images afterwards and it'll match it up. And so you can do up to 12 images per product in bulk. I hope that answered your question there, Fatima.
Yeah, it answered. So wait, so just so I'm clear, so I'm uploading 1,000 products and the style number on the product is, let's say, AD200. My photo is labeled as AD200. If I have everything done that way, it'll upload. I wasn't thinking 12 photos per product, which makes sense, but I was thinking more just each product, the 1,000 products that I uploaded into my POS, I now want the photos put on there. It'll upload all of them, is what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So exactly. So if you have existing products in your point of sale and want to upload photos, that's fine. If you're creating brand new products and you want to attach images, that's fine too. As long as the image name is in the column next to the product. That's how it actually connects the two.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Beautiful.
There's another question.
Yeah, how can we, so that's Fatima. So can we connect the website we already have to Lightspeed Ecom, or do we have to recreate a new website with a template you already have? So something I want to mention is, if you're saying that you already have a website, I'm assuming that you're not selling on it. There's two options here. One is, yes, you could go to your existing website, have a link at the top that says shop, and then when they click on it, it directs them to Lightspeed. That's one way to go about it. Another way is scrap that website and do everything in Lightspeed, because it allows you to carry content along with selling your products. So you could go either way. But if you want to save money and not pay that third-party site, you could just go all in on Lightspeed. How do you take direction of where item is located on site? Georgia, do you mind clarifying that? How do you take direction of where item is located?
So when selection category,
you put the dress into the side of when you're adding a product.
Yep.
Okay, so then you publish to website or
Yes.
whatever that is.
Yeah, right here.
Okay, and then how do you know where it goes on the website?
Aha. That's a great question, by the way. So what happens is when your products actually go online, they automatically fall in the category that you've assigned in store. Now, with that being said, another question that I might get is, what if, because sometimes the in-store category structure is mayhem. There's just so much happening and you want to simplify it online. That's fine. You could either use the existing category, which we assign by default online, or you could recreate your brand new category structure online. Okay. So the picture actually did load. There it is. So you'll notice you can buy this product right away. But let me actually show you a sample of, it's going to answer a lot of your questions. Now, this is a sports site, etc. It has apparel, bikes, all the good things. This is a demo site that I created. I'm going to show you some customer examples as well, but I just want to show you some features. So the way we've designed our e-com is you don't have to be a developer or designer to create a professional looking site. And that's where you get the value. We have themes that you can choose from. They're both paid and free. The free ones are really good. It's the ones that we've designed. But it basically just gives you different features to plug in your images. So it looks all professional and good. I just found images and uploaded them. You can also link up a YouTube video. Every theme is a bit different. You know, this one's very specific to simplicity. You can feature products. I have testimonials from customers. We even have a blog that's built in. And, you know, we're going to touch on SEO in a bit, but having content that's relevant and unique on your website, for example, through a blog, which is optimized for SEO, it allows your products, your website to be found on the first page of Google as opposed to the fifth. There's a newsletter folks can sign up to. It builds an email list. And Georgia, your question was around categories, right? So automatically when your products go over, we automatically create your category structure the way it was in store. So bikes, accessories, service, parts, right? You might have apparel, accessories, hats, shoes. And when you go into these categories, yep, so you can custom create your own menu bar. So you can add whatever you want up here. You can even customize the category structure. You don't have to use the one in store. Now this page has a lot of random things, but over here on the left-hand side, you might be, you could help your customers look for the products that they need. So you could add filters. So you could say, you know, this is for spring, summer, autumn, jackets. So you can filter on brands, pricing. I'm filtering on a specific brand of product. So this is a t-shirt, right? The reason why I want to show you this is a matrix item in Lightspeed Retail. So here you can actually choose between all the different colors through a drop-down, the different sizes. And down here, you can also compare products. So if you want to compare one dress to another, that's fine. What's really cool is we get a lot of customers that come on your website, window shop, but don't actually end up buying. So why don't you guys give them the ability to add items to a wish list? What a wish list allows them to do is save and bookmark those items. And then you as a retailer can actually see what's in their wish list from the back end. So all of a sudden you have a sneak peek and now you know who to target with discount codes. There's obviously the description section. There's also reviews. You get full control over what gets published online or not. And then we also have related products.
For Lightspeed, or is it dependent on how you design the website and add different applications or plugins?
Yeah, so everything I'm showing you right now, nothing's an add-on.
Okay.
Okay, so everything I'm showing you is
The core.
a feature of the product. Yeah. So it'll be there by default.
Okay.
Now, if you want to remove those, that's fine, but it'll be there by default.
No. Yeah, just to know.
For sure. And I'm going to be pretty transparent. I'll let you know, like as soon as I start talking about, oh, by the way, you get to pay extra for this, I'm going to mention that. Okay. Also, if you look here, let me just go ahead and buy this item. Oh yeah, of course. I'm going to talk about the apps as well, Miguel, sorry. Over here on the checkout page, this is really cool. So again, you want to incentivize your customers to go online, right? They've been so used to shopping in store, but now you have an online business. How do you do that? Well, one way is create a discount code. You can create support local during COVID as a discount code. They get 10% off when they shop online. They can apply that at the point of sale. Also, shipping. So if you use any of the major shipping carriers in North America, that could be FedEx, UPS, USPS, Canada Post, whatever. What we do is we connect the shipping carrier's rates to your website automatically. So I'm in Canada, but if you're in the US, you can enter your zip code. Once you enter that, our website will be able to provide you with live shipping rates. So in my case, I have FedEx connected. They're not live right now, but they would say overnight shipping, priority shipping, 2-day shipping. And for you guys right now, if you want to do in-store pickup, you can do something like curbside pickup. Okay. So, hey, buy online, come pick it up in store. We'll leave it at the front door when you come in. Or you could just do a standard shipping, $10 across the board, regardless of what they're buying. So these are the different shipping options. What's the benefit of connecting your shipping carrier? Is that from Lightspeed's backend, you can actually print the shipping label that has the tracking number on it from Lightspeed. So you don't have to go to FedEx or anywhere. It's all in one place. Now, with that being said, let me just look at some of these questions. Do we have to use the merchant service you work with? Oh yeah, so the question was from Sophia. Do we have to use the merchant services you work with for the payment, or can we use ours? So you will have to use for the online side. So we work with PayPal, Stripe, Cayenne, Authorize.net. Now, if you can use any of those are integrated. Now, Authorize.net is a gateway. And if you are working with a third party that isn't supported by us, they might be supported by Authorize.net. So you can actually use Authorize.net's gateway to plug in your third party merchant. So what I recommend doing is if you have a specific merchant in mind and we don't support it, contact Authorize.net, and if they can, that's fine. So there's an extra fee. Obviously, if you use Authorize.net, they have their gateway fee, but you're paying them, you're not paying us. Okay, let me go to the back end for a second now. So to switch from the retail to the e-com backend, you just click up here. And I know I'm going over the hour right now. If you guys have a few more minutes, I'll just kind of wrap up. But just I do want to show you a few two more things. Sure. So over here, if you look, first of all, design-wise, how do you design your website? Where do you even start? You go to your theme store. You go to your theme store here, and we have a ton of themes, right? And I mentioned that I will bring up pricing whenever it applies. So these are paid themes, but we also have free themes, right? Now these themes, what you could do is you could go into them and you could actually demo them, and you can play around with it. You can see how they might fit your style, right? You'll notice all the designs have been done up for you. Now, with that being said, if you want free themes, you just go to the top right corner and you click on free themes, and that'll bring up those options for you. And they're pretty nice as well. These are the ones that Lightspeed designed, and we will be coming out with more. When it comes to the editing aspect, we try to make that very simple and easy. We will give you access to the code. So if you have a developer, that's fine. They can dig in, but you don't need a developer. To edit your store, you go to edit themes, and it actually gives you a preview of what you're editing. And if you want to edit your header, you click on header. You can change the layout, the colors, all sorts of things here. So we try to simplify that process. One other thing actually that I do want to show you is if I come into, let's say an order is received, right? You're getting a ton of orders. They're broken up by their status. So whether you're awaiting payment, shipment, pickup, or if it's completed. So if you go, let's go into an order that I've already done. So over here, what you're seeing is the product's been paid for, $1,500. Now we need to package the item so we can send it. Now we allow you to print a packing slip. The packing slip is basically the receipt that goes inside the box, right? Similar to what you get when you get an Amazon package. Hey, this is what I got, etc. It could be branded with your own logo. And then the last thing that we allow you to do is FedEx or your shipping carrier will send the shipping label directly to our back end. So this is the shipping label you can print off and stick on the package. Beautiful. Okay, so that was the fulfillment aspect of it. I do have a question from Sophia. I have a Lightspeed retail and tried to create e-com in the past, but have some issues with the company of theme we chose. They were in Far East and difficult to work with. How do we make sure that? Absolutely. So how do we make sure that the theme provider is a good fit? So something that we've done is we've kind of reviewed all our theme providers. We actually kicked a few out because when we get reports on bad experiences, you need to let our support team know. And then if we see a pattern, we're going to talk to our relationship with them will change. The last thing we want is to provide a theme that has a lot of issues because that actually reflects poorly on us. So if you let us know, we will talk to the business. If they don't improve within the month, we actually kick them out. So hopefully that answers your question, Sophia. Okay, so someone asked me to look at apps as well. Before I get into apps, I want to show marketing and then we'll go into apps. So on the marketing side, this is where, hey, I want to increase my sales. How do I do that? Over here, you'll see that I can create discount codes, customize them to say whatever they want, have a percentage off, and then you can apply them over a period of time. You can even target specific categories or specific products that's aimed at. But if we take that one step up, I know for those that have used Shopify, and I might be, I learned this a year ago, but discount rules, this is something you need an app for with Shopify. We just provide it out of the box. So if you want to create promotional automated discounts, like, hey, get free shipping on orders over $100, or buy X product and Y for free. We automate this whole process of giving out promotions. And finally, I know we're running over time here. Apps. How do I feel about applications? So this is my personal point of view. I try to steer people away from apps the first year of using Lightspeed. The reason being is I've seen customers buy the point of sale, the e-com, then they buy 4 apps, and they only end up using 2 of the systems of like the 6 that they bought. What I recommend doing your first year, first 6 months is get up and running. If you decide to, whatever system you decide to go with, whether it's us or another system, get up and running with your point of sale, get up and running with your e-com. That's your flagship, your foundation of the store. Once that's up and running, maybe a year later, 6 months later, then start exploring apps on the e-com side. Like we have apps, we have all sorts of apps. My internet's on loading, but you would see images. Abandoned cart recovery. Okay, the customer had stuff in their shopping cart for let's say 30 minutes, but then they had to go for whatever reason and they forgot to buy. This app will send them an email notification saying, hey, by the way, come back to the store, buy these items and get 10% off with the discount code. We have apps for MailChimp, for eBay. We have apps where it creates kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Impulsive buying, where, you know, when you go on an airline website and at the bottom it says only 2 seats left, we have a similar app to that. I forgot what it's called, but it allows you to push those notifications on the front facing side of your website to push those sales through. We have live chat. We have loyalty that you can collect. If you want to prevent people from buying from certain postal codes or zip codes, we also have an app for that. So there's an app for almost every aspect of the website, from inventory, shipping, reporting, tools. Now these apps generally come with a 14-day trial, but they are paid apps.
Do you have one for Klaviyo?
For Klaviyo?
Yeah.
Spell that for me. KL.
It's an email client, and it seems to be very popular right now. KLVYIO.
Is that it?
KLAVYIO.
Hold on. This is way better. It's gonna fix it. I have really bad hearing.
And
So
the reason why I'm
Clavio.
asking is because it's one of the clients that we're covering.
Yeah, I highly doubt we have this one, to be honest, but I'll check right now.
Right. And also 2 questions about the apps. Are they created by Lightspeed or do you use third-party vendors?
Yep, it's all third party.
So-
Exactly. So we don't have the resources to create these apps and support them at the same time. So that's why we get vendors that, you know, they might have the same app in like Shopify possibly. Yeah, so if you do have an issue with an app, for example, you will have to contact the app partner just to let them know.
And I can see on your website which apps I can buy, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. So all the themes, all the apps, all our products are listed on the website for public viewing, not a problem. Even, for example, we publicize everything from system or software changes that we make in terms of features or added or bugs that we fix. We even publicize our performance of our software, like if it's gone down over the last few weeks or anything. Being a public company, we have to publish everything online.
Yep. And
And then
you may have covered this in because I had to run out for one little thing. And did we talk about how to activate the Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram stores?
No, so that's something that I won't be able to show right now, but we do have connections with Facebook Pixel and Instagram. What I could do is maybe send you a video or articles around that on how to connect it. But it's definitely doable. The way it works is with Instagram, it basically redirects you to the website. So there's basically a link, it's tagged.
Oh,
That
so
tag link takes you to the
bio,
website.
it's like a link in something. It's like a
You won't be able to buy on Instagram, no.
right.
Yeah. So we don't have, we haven't gotten that far with Instagram. It's more, hey, it's tagged. You click on the tag, it takes you to the website and you can buy there.
And Facebook, do you offer a seamless integration with Facebook Shop?
So Facebook shopping is something that they tried to push away from. We do have an integration. We actually, I think, are trying to remove it because they've stopped investing in it. What they're focusing on now is Facebook Pixel. So
Yeah, the Pixel is, yep.
Yeah, so Facebook Pixel, we do have an integration with Facebook Pixel. Unfortunately, I can't show that right now.
No, that's fine. You don't need to show. Just to give us a brief description of, whether it's possible.
Yeah. So
and
Facebook
Pin- and-
Pixel, Instagram selling by being redirected to our website, as well as Google Analytics can all be connected.
And Pinterest store?
Pinterest, we do have an app for Pinterest as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is another question from Andrea. Did you see, Asfand?
I'm going to pull it up now.
All Lightspeed themes by the month, and they're listed as an integration on Clavio. Yes. Thank you, Andrea.
Ooh, beautiful. Okay, so when it comes to the themes, so the paid themes are monthly. So it'll be like $12 a month, $16 a month, depending on the theme you get. The Lightspeed themes, the free themes, again, are free, so you could make use of those. They're listed on Clavio's website, which is fun. So we have partnerships that are formal, where we test out the integration and we publicize the partner's name. But then we have other companies that have actually built integrations with us because we have an open API, but they don't let us know. So it might be the case that Clavio has built something with us, but just didn't tell us. Yeah, it looks like, yep. So Clavio does integrate. I think it's more on the retail side, maybe. Yeah, so it looks like Clavio integrates, but with the retail point of sale. All right, guys. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have can we see customers' past orders, purchases easily so I can know what they've purchased so I don't resell them something?
Absolutely, yep. So if I go to the App Store, just go here, back page, go to customers, you can see their whole history. So if I look for myself, so you can see they're all past orders, any returns, any quotes that you created for them, and then any items on my wish list.
But can I see the items easily, like by brand? Is there a
Oh, yes, totally. Yeah. So it depends on where you want to do it. If you want to do it on the e-com or retail point of sale side, but let me go back here.
You want to see it on the website, yeah.
On the website?
Yeah.
And is this from the customer point of view or the retailer point of view?
No, retailer.
Retailer. Okay, so let's go here. Products. And then you can filter your products from here. So are you looking for a specific brand or vendor?
No, I mean what they've purchased by brand. I don't want to have to go into each order to see what they've bought.
So you want to see a summary by brand of what was, okay, so in that case, you'll go to your reports here on the back end.
Per customer, we want to know the history, the customer's history.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's multiple ways to do it. So first of all, your sales reports are broken down by line, but if you want to see a report where it's, I want to see what brands were sold.
I want to see what the customer owns.
Yeah, I want to see Amy, what
brand.
Amy bought. Only Amy, let's say.
Only Amy? Okay. Amy, let's go to, let's say Ashley. That's my next one.
Logan.
Let's go
Okay.
to Ashley.
Let's go to Ashley Logan. Okay. So on the left here, go to her sales tab. And you can see everything that she bought. And then you could even filter here by brand.
Nice.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you.
Beautiful. No worries.
Can I ask you a general question, Asfand? If you're almost done, it's really a general question
hit me,
for
hit me.
everyone. Because we are like a group of, some of us are Shopify, some of us actually don't have an online at all. Most of us are one person business and doing a lot of their own, like one person. What would be the next step if a person is interested in purchasing, or what's your support in terms of kind of holding hands?
Yeah, of course. So this is, I think I had a page on it. Hold on. Okay, so next steps, I would say, if you're interested, the key is like, we want to get you in touch with an account manager so that they can actually, if you want to see a deeper dive into the product, they can actually show you. And then if you do want to sign up, they can hold your hand and take you through it. But basically, let's say you are interested, okay? You can contact either Sarah, I think she's on the call as well. You could call in, or you just go to our website and ask to speak to someone, okay? So if you do that, you'll get in touch with one of the reps. And this is the promotion going on. So there's 3 months free on an annual plan, any product that you buy. So you can buy loyalty, analytics, the point of sale, the e-com, any of the products, you get 3 months free. 24/7 support and onboarding included. And generally, if you do sign up for a trial, it's a 14-day trial. Now, that can be extended upon request. That's not a problem. The reason why we keep it to 14 is we want to make sure that you are actually using the trial. And if you're having trouble, call in. We'll extend it, but we'll also give you some tips. Now, if you're interested, call in. The contact details are down there. And the next steps would be, okay, you're interested, what products you need. We'll send you a quote. You'll send us your credit card. If you want to go and get a merchant provider as well, like Lightspeed Payments, we'll ask for your statements so that we can compare and give you a good, a good rate. Once all that's complete, what we do next is we actually send you to onboarding. So our training team, we've actually been repurposing a lot of our staff members to move to onboarding because of the crisis happening right now and a lot more people signing up. So you'll get a training session that'll walk you through setting up your product, getting your products into the system. We actually have an import team dedicated to bulk uploading your products. Once that training's done, then you'll basically be running your store. Now, when it comes to your e-com and getting your store up and running, there's a couple things that are needed. You need to get your payments set up, your shipping, your design. So we'll take you through a curriculum with the onboarding team of what needs to get done. So it's not like you pay us and then you're on your own. You pay us and then we actually schedule a call with an onboarding staff and then they'll walk you through the process.
Did you all take a picture of this screen, guys, with your phone? All right.
Beautiful. Any other questions? I know we've gone 15 minutes over time. I do apologize for that.
It's okay. We're happy.
I have a question. Will it transfer in past data from our current POS so I can still see my customers' past history?
Yeah, so if you are coming to a new system, regardless of whether it's us or someone else, you will have to bring your data over. So let's talk about that. What can we actually import from your current system? We could bring over your customers, the customer information, all the inventory data, vendor information, and manufacturers. If you want to import your sales history, most point of sale systems out there cannot do it. It costs thousands of dollars usually because it's a very painful and slow process. We have partnered up with someone and they do charge, I think it's like $750 to import all the sales history. Now, with that being said, what you could also just do is export that sales history data and just have it sitting on your desktop to reference. You know what I mean? Don't spend all that money to import it. Generally, you won't need it.
What's the monthly cost once we start?
Honestly, that just depends. So I'm not the sales rep. They would be able to give you a better pricing, but generally it's like, depending on like what you buy, like if you go with like Lightspeed retail plus e-com plus like this, depending on the amount of products, it becomes cheaper. If it's monthly you want to go on versus an annual plan. So what I recommend doing is touch base with one of the representatives. They'll put together a package, take advantage of any promotions or discounts going on as well. And we try to work with you guys too. You know, we understand that, you know, it's a challenging time right now. Budgets are tight. So have that conversation openly. We're not black and white.
I have a question. When you have to transfer your information from your old POS system to Lightspeed, do you need the old POS provider to be helpful?
Not really. Most point of sale systems have the ability, they should have the ability to export your information into an Excel file. If they don't have that ability, they're just holding your information hostage then, which isn't good business practice. But if that's the case, if you can't figure it out, call us. We'll actually share our screen with you and we'll actually guide you on where to export it if they're not being helpful.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Anytime.
We didn't get an answer about the SEO.
Oh, sorry, I totally skipped that. So when it comes to SEO, we're big proponents of that. We have a saying internally that goes something like, you know, if you want to hide a dead body, there's no better place to do it than the second page of Google. And it's true because at the end of the day, there's millions of websites online. How do you make yourself discoverable on the first page? So we've optimized our website to support that. So for example, if I go to just any product, okay, if I go to any product here, you'll notice if I click edit, I have the ability to create my Google search result. So this is where you can define what this page will be called. You can also put, you know, sale going on. It'll show you a preview of what that search result would look like. Then down here, you could add what your page is all about. So meta description, whatever that is. And then meta keywords. So these are keywords or tags that you think your customers will use to search up those products or your website. So this is where you enter those in. And then you can actually assign this product to Google's default category structure so that they can actually be found on Google Shopping as well. So what happens is,
as well?
What was that?
Do you do that for images as well?
For images as well? What do you mean?
So when you import the image, does it automatically create the alt text for it as well?
The alt text, that's a good question. I don't know.
Okay.
I can find out. I'm gonna make note of that.
Yeah. Yeah, the name of the, if I name the image, the brand name and the item, I want Google to know that I offer that brand name and item. So my question is, when I import the images, does it automatically generate that data to tell Google that I have that?
Oh, absolutely. So, I mean, because your brand, your vendors, all the item information is in there, it will index your pages accordingly.
No, but the specific images, so that when someone is looking for my brand, then I come up in the photo search.
Ah, I see. You know what? I want to say yes. I don't know specifics, but let me double check and confirm. Okay.
And does the site automatically being submitted that the XML sitemap goes to Google and their friends?
Yeah, exactly. The XML file absolutely does.
So I
And
don't
then,
need to do anything as a store. I just build it and you take care of it.
exactly. And something that we actually provide is not only SEO on the product, but also on the blog as well as the company, the website as a whole.
Okay, great.
Okay. So the question that you had that I'm going to follow up on is once you add the image and it has the brand, the name of the image installed, will that get indexed and be searchable in Google Images? Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
That's great.
Beautiful, guys. So also another thing we do is we do provide a webinar with one of our SEO specialists. So they'll walk you through kind of like an SEO 101, and then also tools that you can use to find the most searchable keywords, how to, create your SEO tagging and metadata.
That's great.
And Asfand, Sophia is asking, is it done one product at a time?
Oh God, yeah. If that was the case, I would shoot myself. We do have an import tool that you can import all this data in one go in an Excel sheet. All right, guys. So, guys, great questions. Now, one thing that I have probably 2 more minutes. One thing I do want to mention is if there are more questions, feel free to send them over to us. Sarah's email was on this page. We can coordinate if we need to do a follow-up. I absolutely can with Aileen, Fatima, and I hope, I think we went through it. It's been like an hour and a half, but I hope this was useful for you guys, regardless of whether you choose us or not, just to kind of see what's out there, what features are provided. Always compare, see what you're getting from the subscriptions. But at the end of the day, figure out what's your biggest need right now. But also once COVID is done, how will that kind of accommodate you at the same time? Because you don't want to buy things for the sake of buying them to use for like 3 to 4 months when, COVID is going to finish, hopefully. So take that into account as your long-term strategy that, working with I think a software provider that provides both the point of sale solution that's very strong and an e-com presence that allows you to sell during these times, but then you can revert back to the in-store selling once you're back online, I think would be useful. So that's kind of the pitch that I like giving about Lightspeed is, this is what we're about. This is what our company's about, and this is our product. I haven't even gone into the details. This is really the tip of the iceberg, but if you do have questions, let Sarah know, and I'm happy to answer them. Okay, guys?
Thank you so much, Asfand.
Thank you, Asfand.
Yeah, guys, it was my pleasure. It was nice meeting everyone.
Joining us. Thank you. It was great. Bye, everyone.